ancestors, we love to salute you. You're on the creators of a great civilization. You gave the foundation of this world. You gave the world its first righteousness, first history, and it should never, ever be forgotten. Sila.
Wow, guys, like I said, this is a drive time show with DJ Agemenon right now on the Blue Culture Radio. This is the sound that is coming from Barry Red. The first one is something else, guys. I'm gonna play it. The artist is here right now with me, connected live on Black Culture Radio. Like always, I love to do that all the time, having artists on the Black Culture Radio. This is DJ Agemenon.
History tortured us with brutality. What gives them the right to take our lives for diamonds and pearls? They wanna rule the world. They take us from front of history to places at the back. Yeah, and all the time under attack. And whoa, why they call like bird word? Why do they lie when they know we're first word? Why they call like third word? Why do they lie when they know we're first word? Temples of Luxor, and they're just finding out that the world is round. And whoa, why they call like third world? Why do they lie when they know we're first world? Why they call like third world? Why do they lie when they know we're first world? First, 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 first. First, 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 first. First, 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 first. First, 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 first. Oh, oh, oh. What about all the mathematical and equilateral shapes? Long before Pythagoras was late. What about our ethical principles and duality? Oh yeah, long before they knew about greed.
Yes.
Why?
How are you, my brother? Barry Dread, right here on the Black Culture Radio right now with DJ Agemenon. I love the fact that we started a little bit early because I think that it's better to be early than late. How are you, my brother?
Fantastic, my brother. Fantastic, We give thanks for the calling out to express my vibes, because a long time I've been doing it.
Yeah.
And it's a righteous road.
No, that's great. That's
You
great.
see?
Nah, that's great. So, before we go to the first sound that I played right there, is the first word. This probably you want to share with us a little bit about yourself. Of course, I know about yourself as DJ Agemenon, but the fans of the Black Culture Radio would want to know a little bit about yourself. Just a brief word, but the show is all about you, my brother. That's how I do it right here on the Black Culture Radio. Yeah.
Respect. Yeah, man. Well, you see, the thing is now, we give thanks for the calling. And my love goes out to everyone in South Africa and all over the world who's hearing Barry Dread right now. We're on the road of righteousness. See.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, first world ties into my history really, because basically we realize that we're in a world of lies.
Yes.
And as a youth growing up, my father was a pastor. And basically I'm going to the church, and as a youth from 5, 6, 7 years, I said, but wait, hold on. In the church, them say that man come from that man, God make man, and then him take the rib of man and make woman.
Yes.
And then you go to school, and then them tell you, say, wait, man come from monkey, and then there's big dinosaurs roaming around. And I'm like, hold on. Because I'm trying to make sense of the world as a youth. I said, but something not right.
That's
I'm not get two conflicting stories.
That's interesting.
So when we realize the world of them are lie.
Yeah.
That we're living in people that turn the world totally upside down. So I'm glad me get the calling for music, because I started from school and I just kept going on that way. It's like me just get the calling, and I was basically during the late 80s. Basically, we used to back a lot of artists. We had a band called Sunset Band in London.
Yeah.
And we used to back a lot of the artists coming up from Jamaica, because basically they'd come over without a band and they'd look for musicians in the UK, and we'd back them and go tour in Europe with them and so forth, So it was a great experience. We get to work with Lee Rice, Mark, Barry Brown, Junior Reid, for the greats them out there, So me give thanks, So all that experience I use
if you allow me to maybe interject over there, because I love the music, right? Because the next song that I'm gonna play is called "The Bread Basket," right? It talks a lot about Africans, and I realize that what you have shared with us right now on the Black Culture Radio might be considered as radical by some sections, you spoke about the dinosaurs. You spoke about being treated as animals and stuff, like African people, like animals, as monkeys and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
That's the narrative that they put forward, because we're the oldest people on the planet. We're so old we've forgotten ourselves.
Yeah.
So they've managed. They control the narrative, and those who basically control the scene control the narrative. So they've given us a history that is not ours, and basically, because of that, we lose our strength as a people.
Yes,
and so as musicians and singers and players of instruments, it says that the players of instruments shall be there. Artists, artisans, people who express the culture, that is the light that needs to shine on the youth. The youth needs to see that continuance. But we've been infiltrated and taken in a way that is not our culture, and we lose ourselves,
Yeah.
So that's why I sing my songs, to try and awaken our people and to realize that we do have a great culture.
I think we'll get
we
there. We'll get there. I think there's the song that you did is called the Free Up Your Mind. Then you also did Dab Up Your Mind. So it's in line. Yeah, it's in line with the message, and I love it. It's a lot of it. Perfect, remember. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play the bread basket, and there's a lot that we need to discuss about the bread basket.
Yeah, man.
Right. So let's go to the sound right now. Bread basket, right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world, and everyone I need your time.
DJ Agemenon,
working off a hot explosion, and everyone I need your time. Africa, the basket of the world. while we fill their prison cells. I hear my ancestors calling from the bottom of the ships, and the spirit of Marcos say, rise up, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world, and everyone I eat out I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world, and everyone I eat out I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world, and everyone I eat out I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world, and everyone I eat out I eat, except for we, oh, except for we. Them burn, them loot, them plunder, and take without consent to build their banks and their cities, while we fill their prison cells, yeah. I hear my ancestors calling from the bottom of the ships.
You know, this is just nice.
Marcos,
My brother, you said, with me is Betty Dread right now, and he said a lot of stuff that I'm going to try to unpack them, because there are two keywords that he said that got me. The first word was perception, and the second word that he said is a narrative, and that is something perfect. And Betty, tell me something. The this sound. Africa,
Yeah.
bread.
Bread basket.
Yeah, bread basket. Yeah, I mean, if we can try to, you know, the good thing about your music is you don't have to link it. The music itself, it links to itself. The next sound
Yeah,
links
man.
to
It's
the
it's
next sound.
itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, for many years, I mean, our people don't know how rich they are. I was in Gambia 2 years ago, and and the people, people don't know their culture, to the level of the history. I mean, when people are praising foreigners for their education and for their liberty, and not seeing, that they've been exploited to the max. Because I go there, I even was in Ghana as well, February last year, and I see all the riches over here. All our streets are paved in England.
Yeah.
In Ghana, I don't see the streets are paved, and this is where all the money is coming from. Everything is over here. All the money is over here in the UK.
There must be something
But
wrong.
we as
Barry, there must be
yeah,
something
because
wrong,
yeah,
right? You have not
no,
been to
most
Zimbabwe. You
definitely.
remember DJ Agemenon is from Zimbabwe. I'm actually living in
Yeah.
South Africa myself.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, the monies and stuff. Because there is the country called the DRC, the Democratic Republic
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Congo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You find all
Mm-hmm.
the minerals all over the world.
That's
Any
right.
mineral you
That's
can
right.
ever think of, you can find it there
That's
in
right.
the
That's right.
DRC.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Because we have to remember that, we already, they want to bring in a new world order, but we went through a new world order when they call it the scramble for Africa.
Yeah.
During a 40-year period between 1880 and probably 1910, all of the Europeans conspired to take Africa from black people,
Yeah.
and they went
Yes.
down there and carved it up, and basically, everybody take them peace, and they've had the people in subjugation since. I mean, people, we every corner of Africa was fighting against Europeans, and it's like we've forgotten that fight and
Yeah.
think that it's all right now. But they have us in such a way now that they have so much money that they're getting from Africa that they can go on the way they're going on in the world right now. So as soon as we wake up and realize what's going on, put a stop to this, we'll be better off. We'll be, a strong people, because we need to unite. We need to shake off the shackles of our oppression, and just wake up.
I've
Because it
got a
hurts me so
theory.
much. It hurts me so much.
I've got a theory myself.
So,
I've got my theory
yeah, man.
myself. Like I thought myself that mental slavery that we are going through right now is probably the worst slavery that we endured. We might have endured
That's right.
mental, physical slavery. That's my theory. That's my own
Yeah.
opinion. Because right now,
Yeah.
the
Well, we've
challenge
been.
that we have right now is to alert and also impact the message that is in your music, and like we need to wake up. There's something
Yeah. I
that
mean,
is
put it
wrong
this way.
here.
I mean, yeah, and reggae music is a part, one part of it. You see, because I mean, here in England, we're going through the same brainwashing, same way. But what we have here in England during the 80s and the 90s, we had a lot of black bookshops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the ancestors drew me to this bookshop where I found a book by Walter Rodney called "How Europe Underdeveloped Africa."
Yeah.
Now, anybody can get to read that book. It just totally opened my eyes because when I started to lock up, my father said, "Wait, are the devil you praise?" And because through my father was a pastor, it shook me to the core.
Yeah.
That all on. I was only 16, 17 at the time and start locks up my head and come in at the house and say, "Wait, are the devil you praise?" Because I
That.
didn't know at the time. So ancestors brought me to the bookshop and it opened my eyes to see that, hold on, I'm right. We have been subjugated. So as you grow older, you realize that you're living in a lie. And I'm trying to show my father, but they're already set in their ways. You see me? I said, so this deception they put on our grandparents, and our grandparents passed it on to our fathers, and our fathers passed it on to us, and we're going to pass it on to our children. So, and forgot the glory and the where we were, because people don't even realize. The
Oh,
Moors came
right.
into Europe and
Yeah.
educated the Europeans for 700 years.
That's great. That's great.
It's,
So, the challenge that we have in a society that we are living right now, I'm gonna be very frank with you, because right now, the message that we have right now is being considered radical, and that's why you find a lot of people are being cancelled. Like
yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
in
It's,
music,
it's radical.
they
It's
are out.
radical to Babylon.
Yeah,
It's radical to Babylon, but it's not radical to we who know the truth. It's just truth and right. It's just simple things. It's common sense. You know what I
yeah.
mean? If somebody raped your mother or your grandmother, you just don't forgive them like that. Well, you forget.
I
You see
do.
me? I said that they
Yeah,
raped
yeah,
your. You
I
see me? I said
understand it.
did they. We have to. They still have something to deal with here, but we've forgotten about
Yeah.
these things. You see me? I say it's like they made us totally forget the crimes against us, and we
Thank you
must
very
forgive
much.
all those that trespass against us. It's not right.
Thank you very
No,
much
it
for
don't go
that.
stop.
Thank you very
you
much for that message. Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I said, it's music that bring me to that. Because I mean, I toured with Ikula Rastafari,
Yeah.
and I think Ikula is known in South Africa. He
Oh.
works with a band. Get the name of the band he works with, but he has a Gideon family band. Ikula is an international artist. So he was the one that basically I toured all around the world with Ikula. And
That's crazy.
and he when going to Europe, you realize how much reggae music is loved, all over the world by everyone,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it has a spiritual message, you know what I mean? And this is the thing now. Now that they've kind of locked down the world and no one can go out there, and this is the thing we have to fight against, because reggae music is the thing, because that is what educated me. When I looked to the right, when I was a youth, I was having music from Dennis Brown, Jacob Miller, John Holt. Everybody was singing Righteousness, Burning Spear. Everywhere I look as Rasta man, I sing their righteousness. So I had basically was in that environment of
Yes, yes,
Rastafari
yes.
revival.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
so,
Like remember
yeah.
1980 when Zimbabwe had, got the independence. Independence when we got the
Oh,
independence, it was
that was
actually
something.
Bob Marley who
Mm,
came to Zimbabwe, and he did a show. It was massive, like. I think that's
uh,
when we got the culture, reggae music culture, from there,
yeah,
starting
yeah,
from 1980. And also, I'll tell you something for a fact that we do have our own genre, but we just call it Zim dance or genre. But the thing is, the key word has always been dance or music. It's just as perfect as Jamaican dancehall music, but it's in our own local language and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's why
yeah,
we get
brother. Yeah,
the
man. Yeah,
respect for reggae music.
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Straight, my brother. Straight.
So what I'm
You
going
know
to
what I
do
mean?
right now, my brother, we've got a lot to discuss. So I'm gonna go to the sound of
Yeah, because
distraction.
I want to tell the people I'm a bass guitarist. You know, I'm a bass guitarist.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really, I'm a musician before I'm a singer, basically.
That's
You
great.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm in control of my own music. That's one of the advantages I have. So that's why I'm able to build my own sound
perfect,
and create my own. You know what I
perfect.
mean? Because I'm a musician first.
Great, great, great. So let's go to the sound distraction. I love this one. I love this one. And we've got a lot to
Oh,
discuss. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
People look round you. What do you see? People look round you. Yeah. People of the world look round you. What do you see? Destruction. People of the world look round you. What do you see? Destruction. Take a look and see. Mass starvation in the abundance of plenty. Yeah. Human deprivation. Decaying morality. Suicides and murders. Oh, oh. Man is insanity. People of the world around you. What do you see? Destruction. People of the world around you. What do you see? Destruction. It's a crying shame. Yeah. It seems no one wants to take the blame. Blessed is the man, yeah, yeah, who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, but the wicked are not so. Oh no, they should be like the chaff the wind drive away. People of the world around you, what do you see? Destruction. People of the world around you, what do you see? Destruction. We got to find a way to make this world a better place for every living thing to be free and be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters that bringeth forth fruits in due season.
Destruction.
Yes. Barry, tell me something. That got me. Distraction. I think we have spoke about a lot of stuff, and the thing that I love about this sound is you asked a question. Those are right questions that I believe
Right.
that people should be
Yeah.
asking other people. Like,
Yeah.
what do you see? Then you answered that
Exactly.
question, like
Yeah.
distraction of
Exactly.
the you know
Mhm.
so the music that you do is considered as a radical music in terms of I would want to believe that you are from the future and you're living in a parallel universe like myself as well, because I
Yeah,
believe in
that's
the
right.
music
That's
that
right.
you share and the message
Mm.
that you share.
Mm.
So just tell me a little bit
Mm.
about that song.
Yeah, well, that song there basically, is inspired by what I see going on in the world. pollution. Every aspect of the world. Whether it's the air, they might pollute, the sea, they might pollute. They might chop down all the trees. I mean, I see them spraying their chemtrails in the sky. I'm like, what are they doing? You know what I mean? And so it's like, and then at the end of it, they want to turn around and blame the people. That it's the people that is at fault for doing this damage. You know what I mean? When it's the way they run the world, with no regard for humanity, because, it's basically, you wouldn't bring anything into being. It's like, these people don't deal with righteousness. They just deal with, they don't care about the cause. They just do what they have to do to make their money and to control power.
That's
And,
interesting,
you know,
because you
yeah,
spoke about the environment itself, and
yeah,
recently we just had a summit to talk about environment. This is not the first time people have been gathered. World leaders have been gathered to talk about environment, but what I've realized
yeah,
is
man.
we're just talking about the same thing that we spoke about last year, but nothing has changed. So I was going to
No,
ask
because
you
the
a
leaders not
question.
interested. Yeah.
I was going
Mm,
to ask you a question. I'm going to be very frank with you. I was going to ask you a
mm,
question like, what can we do to change? But then I realized that you have already done that through music.
mm,
That's the best we can
mm,
do.
mm,
You create the music.
mm,
DJ Agemenon on Black Culture plays the music. I think that's what we can do.
mm,
But if you do have some other ideas on how we can change the mentality when it comes to distraction, because this is distraction, right? That's why
mm.
sorry, I say that this show is about you, right? But what I'm worried
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah. I
is
mean,
now we are now looking at going to Mars ourselves as human beings
yeah,
to conquer that planet right now. So we're going to
yeah,
take
yeah.
our
I mean,
virus now from planet Earth, and now we're taking it to Mars. That's my belief. And
but you
this
have to,
show,
yeah,
yeah.
but you see, yeah, DJ Ajiman. It's like, what me I say,
I don't-
you have to check, you have to check the thing that these people, they don't care about that. You see me, I say, when you say we, it's not us. You see me, I say,
yeah,
it's not really we, it's them.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They're going to Mars. It's not us. They always try to affiliate us with their destruction, or they will say mankind is so terrible. No, no, no. Only some kind of men. Some people are some kind of man, but then you have humans, people who are sensitive, people who don't have to be policed. You see me as you don't know righteousness. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So our culture, this is where we need to get back to and realize we are not them. Them is a different mentality. You see me, I say, what we deal with is a totally different way. And because we don't control our paradigm, it's like I have my own little studio now because my son passed away 2019. He was only 16 years old. He was autistic and he had an
sorry about
epileptic
that.
fit. Yeah, man. And, I cry for him every day. But I
So,
built a studio in his honor. And in the studio, I feel like I've got my own government
what's the
because
name of the
I can
studio?
create. It's called Malachi Studio.
Malachi. All right, that's perfect. That's
Yeah,
great. That's something
Malachi
else.
Studio. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
yeah,
See? And basically, I say it's like when you control your own environment, then you can create what you want. So when I create my song, it feels like I'm creating my own laws. I'm creating my own all my own policies in my own. You see, if we control our environment properly, like if we control Africa and we did it our way, then basically we would plan it our way. But most of the schools, most of the media we listen to, it's not our thing. It's them.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
us. It's them.
Yeah, thank you
They
very
control
much
the
for that.
teachers.
I love the fact that
They control the
you
school
did.
where we go to. So it's not us that is creating the paradigm we live in.
Yeah, like I said.
That is, yeah. So that is, I was in Ghana 2 years ago as well. When, as I said, and I saw so much plastic on the floor, like all the pop bottles, I was like all the plastic all over the place. I'm like,
Yeah,
what? Nobody can pick them up. You know what? They don't have like in England, where every week the dustman man come and clear up the whole street, and we just leave our rubbish out and they pick it up.
yeah,
You
but
mean to say we can't have something like that going on? You know what I mean? What's going on?
that's
You know
great.
what I'm saying?
That's a great message there, because yes, we can
Yeah.
talk about
You know,
the system that has been put out on us, right? But
yeah,
like what you
yeah.
said,
It's a
like
system
people
that we
not
live in.
being able
Yeah,
to pick up the trash, right? And it's a mentality issue. Like
yeah, yeah.
we cannot
It's
blame
because we
anybody
don't
for that.
control our own paradigm.
Yes, we cannot blame anybody for that. We have to blame ourselves also for that. And that's
Blame yourself,
that.
but at the same time, we can't. You see, because there are obviously political situation because the people them that is running Africa is not running it on behalf of Africans. In my opinion. I mean, I can only speak my
Is
opinion. In
that
my
all of it?
opinion,
Can I ask you a question?
it-
All of them, all of the African countries, because I've
and I
got
wouldn't
some
say all of them.
exceptions.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all of them. No, but I would say the majority. What I'm saying.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So the majority this is the thing
that's
because we don't
great.
control it.
That's great. That's
We
great.
we can be led into any path. I mean, I'm hearing all kinds of people want to come and take over our things now. So it's like everybody feels easy pickings because there's no protection. I feel like we're all on. Where's our army? Like Marcus Garvey is talking about. It's
You
supposed
spoke
to,
about,
when we
yeah,
have
that's
things.
great. That's great when you spoke about Marcus Garvey. And also
Yeah.
today, after my show, Auntie Jean, she will be having a podcast today, and she'll be talking about
Oh,
the Marcus
wonderful.
Garvey village. That will be,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's great. That will be 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow. Okay.
GMT after me today.
Yeah.
So
All right. All
so
right.
guys,
Yeah. Lovely.
we're logged in right now. So join
Mm.
Auntie
Yeah.
Jean, and she'll be talking about
Yeah,
Marcus
man.
Garvey. And I love the podcast
Mm.
that she does, and it's something perfect. So guys, for those who are
Yeah, man.
listening to me right now, this is DJ Agemenon with the Buried Dread on the Black Culture
Yeah, man.
Radio on a Friday drive time show. So I'm going to do this sound like the free up your mind. I know there's a lot of
All
stuff to
right.
talk about in that song. I love it. I
Mm.
love the message
Mm.
that is embedded. I love
Mm.
the message that is embedded within this song. So let's do that right now.
Mm.
Yes, yes, yes.
Free up your mind. Free up your mind. You got to free up your mind. It's time to take a step onto a higher plane, to reach a point where we can't get hurt again. This is for our future. We got to lay the seeds. Living in the belly of oppression, which needs a laxative. Free up your mind. Free up your mind. You got to free up your mind. By your works, you get paid. Jah helps a man who helps himself. You got to do the right thing. Let your work be positive. Living in the midst of an illusion which needs reality. Free up your mind. Free up your mind. a change.
Yes.
Right.
Very, that's something else. That's perfect. It just touches my heart. Just a free up of mind. I think we talk about. I think I did spoke about. I really wanted this show to be about you, but at the end of the day, the message that you have been sharing right now on the Black Culture Radio, it touched me. Like when you talk about freeing up your mind as a human being, that's mental slavery. Tell me something about this.
Yes. Well, you see, it's like what it is for many years. As I said, I grew up in the church, so, and from church, I started Rastafari.
Yeah.
And, Rastafari, open your mind, because you start looking at things from outside of the box, And a lot don't realize how deep our history is, because even Rastafari itself can, the churchical aspect of it can, make your mind not expand as far as it should do. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, our history goes back before we were indoctrinated with Christianity. We have African spirituality, and the way our ancestors
Sorry
used to
to
do is,
interject here. Sorry to interject, right? Like, besides music, right? Besides music, what can we do to make sure that the people, the mindset is free? Besides music, because music is doing probably 99% of it, right now. So besides music, what else can we do to make sure that the mind is free from mental slavery? Because that's what the message that is embedded in that sound.
you think what you need to do is turn off the television, turn off the television and just listen to righteousness, be around righteous people. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, the television is the biggest indoctrinator of people. And, it's the, what you learn at home, and, we're limited to who is teaching you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes your own parents can put your mind in a box. You know what I mean?
But
And
that
it's
can be
up to
difficult.
you.
That can be difficult.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain
Yeah.
that. Like,
But this is why I feel a lot of us, the diaspora, the people who came to England and so forth, who came, who through the Middle Passage, and we ended up in England and so forth. Being in England, in the belly of the beast,
yeah.
we were privy to knowledge, that we probably couldn't get if it was in certain parts of the Caribbean or in Africa. You see me, I said, so that knowledge base opened up a lot of people's minds, that were open to that kind of information. So you find that was the Rasta revival makes us realize, and we went and read and studied our history, and it opened our minds to, but the only thing is that we lacked that we didn't act upon it, and we didn't act upon it because it goes back to conditioning, because, it's how you condition your mind. Because I understand that in our anciency, we used to go through rites of passage as a young man. So when you reach 13, 14, you learn how to be a man, which means controlling your emotions, meaning to say you follow the divine spirit within you.
You
learn how to
that's great
line
message.
your will to your wisdom within you. You know what I mean? And once you have done that, then you learn how, by the time you're doing that from 14, to make your way of wisdom from 14, by the time you're 21, you're a very wise man. And so you won't follow emotions. You won't find the strict youths, them going out there killing each other for foolishness, because it's only when you're in prison you realize wisdom comes and knock on your door and say, hey, you forget about me. You know what I mean? You go and kill the guy, you didn't need to do that. You know what I mean? There's so much different things you could have done instead. He's your brother. You didn't need to do that. But we find wisdom in our late 30s and realize, we find ourselves by the time we're in our late 30s. Some of us naturally wisdom comes in.
That's
but
great. That's
it's
great.
in the system.
That's great.
It's in the system. We need to learn from, we haven't got that system in place. A 13, 14-year-old, when you're a child, you follow your emotions. When you are 13, 14, you feel learn now
All
to
right.
follow wisdom.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
And
That's
that's
great. That's
what
great. So, guys, for those who are joining me right now, this is DJ Agemenon on the drive time on the Black Culture Radio on a Friday. With me today is a Barry Red, and later on, I'm going to have today Divari lovers reggae music, something else perfect. This is a blessing to have. Barry Red with me. So much message that is coming from the artist. A lot of it, Some of it can be considered as radical in some sections in our society, but it is what it is. That's what I believe in. It is what it is. That's the truth. It is what it is.
I see it. Yeah, man.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
man.
go to the sound, the dub up your mind. I love that because
All
free up your
right. Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Then we do the dub up your mind. So proud.
Yeah,
You
man.
just
Go with
that will be our last
Mm,
sound today, and I would want you
mm,
to share with me the message. Then I play that. Then we take a break. We go to the commercials from our sponsors on the
mm,
Black Culture Radio with DJ Ab.
mm.
So thank you very much, my brother, for being here with me today. That was a blessing.
Uh,
Yes.
it's a joy, my brother. It's a joy, and I really do love the fact that because we do our music. We don't know who it touches in the world. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I mean, I'm in fact, since the lockdown, because I have to talk about my Save Humanity EP, which is my latest tune out there at the moment. I've got an EP that I actually built in Malachi's studio during the
Yeah.
lockdown.
All right.
So I basically learned the logic and started to put tunes down myself and start build up my tunes. So what happened is the people that were doing the ceremony for my son, it was an African spiritual ceremony, and when I went to check them, they were actually during the lockdown doing food relief, for the elderly in the community and people who couldn't leave their house. The Al Kabul revivalist movement. So
All
I
right. All
decided to when I release this EP, I will give 50% of the proceeds to what they were doing.
right. Perfect. Thank you
So I
very much
managed
for
to do
that.
that, and the EP's out, and I've done that. So I want to know that the EP's out there. It's on Bandcamp. It's available for anyone who wants to check it out on Bandcamp. Barry Dead Bandcamp. It's only £1 a track, and just check it out, man, because it's going towards a good cause. It'd be nice
Perfect.
if you could play one of them from that EP to let people know what it's all about.
No.
But yeah, I know you will in the future anyway. So I give thanks for giving me this platform, my brother.
Thank you very
You know
much.
what I mean?
It was a blessing actually for me to have you on the Black Culture Radio today on a Friday.
Mhm.
Anything that is coming out late, I mean, in the future, like maybe in the near future or in the far future from you. Anything.
And most definitely, my brother. Most definitely. Which part of South Africa you are at the moment?
Well, I'm in Pretoria right now, but
Oh, Pretoria. Okay.
yeah, but I'm a Zimbabwean myself.
Mm-hmm,
DJ Akubida. Yeah, I'm
Lovely.
proud to be a Zimbabwean myself, to tell you the truth. I'm proud to be a Zimbabwean, yeah. But living in South
Well,
Africa, yeah.
my love yeah, man. See, and my love to all the people who's listening. I give thanks for your ears, and as I said, follow your wisdom, follow the spirit, the divine spirit within you. That will guide you. See it. It's a rocky road.
Yeah,
See, so just remember that we are the greatest
exactly.
ones in this world. We are the greatest, and we rock this world.
That's
See?
fine. Thank you very much, my brother. I did start your music, my first show right here on the Black Culture Radio. And
For sure.
I love that. I
Right.
love that. So
Let me
we
give thanks. More strength and more strength to you, my brother.
perfect,
So just go from strength to strength. Yeah?
perfect.
And love and love. And more
I'll
love.
be
We'll keep in
hearing
touch.
much.
Definitely.
I'll be hearing much from you, my brother. Yes, sir. God,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
thank you very much, my
Yeah,
brother.
man.
Big up to yourself.
Yeah, man. Let me say your name
Respect.
properly, man. Agemenon.
Agmenon. I know it's
Agemenon. Yeah.
yeah, but you can
Yeah.
just call me DJ Agi. It's okay. Everybody else in the world
Yeah,
can
man.
just call
DJ
me
Agi.
DJ
Yeah,
Agi.
man.
Yeah,
DJ Agi.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Yes, I.
Let's just
Yes, sir.
simplify it.
Yes, sir.
Let's just simplify it. Thank you
Yeah,
very
man.
much.
Yeah, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you
man.
very much, guys.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you.
Rastafari.
Rust. Respect. So, guys, for those who are joining me right now, this is DJ Agi on the Black Culture Radio, aka DJ Agemenon. I was with Betty Dread, something much respectful, and the message that is embedded in the music, guys. So, right, I'm gonna take a break right now. I'm gonna send some message from our sponsors on the Black
This is
Culture
called
Radio.
the cancer bush.
Oh, I've heard of this. The cancer bush.
It is from nature that diseases arise, and from nature comes the cure. Dr. Paracelsus. Cancer bush, the hidden herb that supports and treats cancer patients, is brought to you by Mother Nature's traditional herbal remedies. Cancer bush is the miracle herb and can also treat these following conditions: cancer, chronic fatigue, depression, diabetes type 2, piles, hot flushes, gonorrhea, syphilis, hemorrhoids, chlamydia, rheumatoid arthritis, tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, mental stress, lupus influenza, swine flu, and more. To find out more, and if you or a loved one are suffering from the following conditions, please head over to our website on www.cancerbush.org.uk. If you'd like to email us, please email at info@cancerbush.org.uk. You can also call us on 0208 993 4870. That's 0208 993 4870, or 07943 144 544. That's 07943 144 544. Cancer bush, the miracle herb.